This is how to promote your content, get traffic, and reach millions of people, even if you're broke. And if you want to see how my students are making millions of dollars with my free traffic methods, then stick around until the end. Okay, so this is how to promote your content, even if you don't have an advertising budget or you just don't want the hassle of spending money. Now, I've created a complete system that's perfect for newbies and professionals, so anyone can use this. We are going to use Facebook, that gets 23 billion page views every month, Twitter, which gets 6 billion, Pinterest, that gets over 1 billion page views a month, Quora, that gets 500 million, and Medium, which gets over 200 million. Plus, I've got a couple of secret ones that I'll show you later on. So we start by creating the right type of content. So that means we create content with promotion in mind. So we need to think about the people who will consume that content. Now, to help you do that, we're going to use Google. So we're going to uncover common problems that your audience might be facing. So we think in terms of problems and solutions. So let's type in a seed keyword into Google. So we might go with digital marketing. And what I want you to do is scroll down to this section. People also ask if we can create educational content that targets these problems, these questions, we will know that there is an active audience of people searching for that specific type of content. They need that specific help with that problem. Another example could be weight loss. So we put in weight loss and again scroll down. So people are asking, how can they lose weight fast? How do they begin to lose weight? What causes rapid weight loss? Another way to uncover lots of questions is to use the SEMrush magic tool, the keyword magic tool. Type in weight loss and then keep broad match selected, then go with questions. And then you will get lots of content ideas. Here, if you want even more, you can expand out into related. So now we can see the approximate search volume for all of these questions, all of these problems that we might be able to address. In addition to creating content with problems in mind, so problems and solutions, we also have to have a call to action before we create any content. If you don't have a call to action ready yet, then you're probably not ready to start this process. So maybe just keep this tutorial saved somewhere on the back burner for when you do need it. So let me show you an example of a call to action. So if we have a look at one of my blog posts, this promises people 34 blog post ideas that are guaranteed to get traffic. And if we go through the list, fairly early on in the article, we have the first call to action. So this is where I ask people to subscribe to a free 4-part course that is delivered to their inbox every day. So that's the first call to action that I have inside my content. But if we scroll right down to the bottom, you'll see that I also have a second call to action, which actually just links to a landing page. So here we have a what's next section, and then I promise to give them the secret traffic methods that I never share anywhere else for free when they go to the profitcopilot.com/traffic landing page. If I click on that, it's just going to take them to a landing page where they can subscribe to my newsletter. So notice that the call to action is relevant to the rest of the content. Relevancy is key. So now we can start generating leads. We can build an email list, which is probably going to be your biggest asset in terms of traffic and revenue. So let me show you something else that you absolutely need to have on all your content. You need to have these share icons. These will encourage people to share your content across social media. If you are using WordPress, most themes come with these already installed. However, if your theme doesn't have them, then go over to wordpress.org. It's very important that you go to the .org version, click on plugins, go to search plugins, type in social media share, hit search, and now you will get a whole bunch of plugins that you can install. You only need to install one of these, and I know that the mass share one is very popular, it's very effective, and if my theme didn't have the buttons already installed, then I would probably go with this one. But let me show you an easy way to install these plugins. So in your WordPress dashboard, go to plugins, add new, go to the search bar and type in social media share, and you will get the same result of plugins that you can choose from and install. And speaking of social media, you are going to need a few social media accounts to do the rest of this tutorial. So you're going to need a Facebook account. You're going to need to set up a Facebook page. You're going to need a Twitter account. You'll also need Pinterest, Quora, and Medium. And one more powerful service that we'll get to later on. So on Facebook, what I want you to do is click this plus icon, go down to page. I want you to create a new page, give it a name, add the category, give it a good description, think about the keywords, think about the big problems that you're going to help people solve. Create a new page, because later on that's going to come into play. Also, what I want you to do is create a Twitter account. This is going to be a branded Twitter account for your website. Again, this will come into play later on, but while we're here, while we're on Twitter, notice that I have a pinned tweet, and that is to my call to action. So it's just a landing page, the landing page that I showed you a couple of minutes ago. So for anybody who looks on my profile, they will now hopefully click through and subscribe to my list. Okay, back to Facebook, because we need to find relevant groups that will be receptive to our content. So what I want you to do is think about the problem that you solve. Think about the people who need that solution, and then go to the search bar on Facebook, type in a couple of seed keywords. So maybe digital marketing or weight loss. And then we're going to filter the list that it brings back by groups. So go down to groups. You can apply additional filters if you want to target specific areas, but if you're happy to target pretty much everyone on the internet, then leave it as default, and then have a look through these groups. So the key metrics to pay attention to are the number of members and the number of posts per day. So this group has got 58,000 members, and it gets on average 110 posts a day. It's a very active group. So you might want to go ahead and join that. Go through your list. One here has got over 300,000 members and gets over 200 posts a day. So I would join that as well. I would just go through the list and join as many high traffic, high activity groups as you possibly can. I mean, this one, 300,000 members, almost 400,000, and over 2,000 posts a day. So I would start with the high traffic groups, but I would also include a few low traffic groups, ones that have got fewer posts every day. So for example, this one has got 10 posts a day. So I might join that because I might get better results from the smaller groups as opposed to the bigger groups, because there's less competition. However, this is going to vary from group to group, from niche to niche, and really from content to content. So the number of variables makes it almost impossible to give it an accurate prediction of what kind of results you'll get. So what you have to do is just join these groups and test it out for yourself. Now, we're not going to join these groups just to spam them with links to our website. We're not going to do that. But every time we have a new piece of content, we can seed that content in these groups. Eventually, We have to build up a relationship really with the admins and the moderators so they know that we genuinely care about the people that we serve. We aim to really solve problems, and we're not just looking to make a quick buck. So to help you do that, you have to answer people's questions. You have to create a lot of goodwill, take the time to help people out, ask questions, get involved in these communities, and add people as friends. So if you're speaking to people on one of these groups and you're having a conversation, add them as a friend and then continue to build that relationship. And that can be as simple as just reaching out to them, sending them a message saying, I really like the value you're delivering to this group. Send them a friend's request. And if you do that, say 10 or 20 times a day, and you're adding these people as friends, when you post on these groups, they will get notified, they'll see your posts, and guess what? Because they already have a good relationship with you, they're going to click the like button, they're going to interact, they're going to help you increase the reach inside these groups. And then when the time comes that you are promoting your own content, that's going to get a much wider reach. And for maximum stealth marketing, what I want you to do is not only promote your content, but link to other people's blog posts as well. Link out to YouTube videos. Really spend the time to become a valuable asset of these groups. And then when you publish your own blog post and you share it, it won't stand out as this act of self-promotion. And then we apply the same strategy to Quora. So head over to Quora, search for things relevant to your niche. So it could be digital marketing, could be weight loss, and then spend the time to answer the questions, get involved in groups on Quora. We have these groups called spaces. So take the time to explore these different spaces, join ones that might be relevant to you, ones that you can absolutely add value, and pay attention to how other people are using these groups. For example, this one has got over 200,000, almost 300,000 followers. There's 26 new posts today. It's a fairly active group. If we look at how people are choosing to use it, we can see that they are promoting content in this group, and that content is getting engagement. So people welcome this type of content. This one, holy wow, look, over 700 upvotes, 14 reshares, and 55 comments. So there is a lot of traffic to be gained from using Quora Spaces in the right way. Obviously, you have the questions and answers section of Quora, but in my experience, these groups, these spaces, are really an underutilized traffic source. This one here, over 600, almost 700 upvotes, 17 shares, over 100 comments. Now, sticking with the groups theme, we're going to go ahead and start using Pinterest, but we're going to use it in a slightly different way. So for this, we're going to use a Pinterest search engine to find group boards. So these are groups that you can join, you can contribute to, and you can get traffic from. So we're going to use a website called pingroupie.com. Head over to that, and it's going to look like it's part of Tailwind. It's not, it's just an affiliate link. So don't worry about that. Scroll down to find group boards on Pinterest, enter a niche or keyword. So we could go weight loss. And now we have some extras. So we want to add some filters, because without applying the right filter, this list is pretty much useless to us. So in extras, go to request to join button, click that, and now we have a list of Pinterest groups or Pinterest boards that we can join. So take the time to have a look at the number of followers each board has got. So this one has got 37,000 followers, We can see that there's 120 collaborators in there. There's 11,000 pins, and we can see that it was updated very recently. So if we click on that, click on visit this board, take a look at the type of content that is being posted. If it's relevant to you, if you can do something of this standard or even better, then go ahead, click the join button, and then your request will be reviewed by the admins. So take the time to go through this list on pingroupie.com, and then you can post content to these boards. So put in your image there, give it a strong title, give it a description, use relevant keywords, think about the emotional impact as well as the keywords that you're targeting. Add a destination link, so link to your content from here, and then choose which board you want to publish it to, and then you're good to go. Okay, sticking with social media. When you publish on your blog, what we need to do is have that content distributed across social media. So you can go to each platform and manually post it, but that is a bit of a ball ache. So what I want you to do is automate that process so we can use a range of social media scheduling tools to do it for us. Now, these range in price. We've got on the free end, we've got tools like Buffer that allow you a limited number of accounts for free. And then at the other end, we have things like Sprout Social, which starts at $99 a month. I used to use Sprout Social, haven't got any problems with it. It's a very good tool for what it does. However, I am currently using Content Studio, and I think that's around $50 a month. But if you're just starting out, then I would probably go with Buffer. I used to use it a while ago. I found it very easy to use. Let me show you how to do it. So we connect our social media accounts. We connect the Facebook page that we created previously. We connect the Twitter account, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and then we have a queue. So this is what's going to come up on your social media profiles. This is scheduling ahead. And to schedule, you can just click what would you like to share, put in your content there, add an image, choose the profiles that you would like to send it to, and then you can customize for each network and then schedule. Let me show you my social media planner because I do mine by the month. So here's a look at what mine looks like. You can see that pretty much every day I have something posted on social media, and I'm mixing things up. So I'm posting from other people's blogs, I'm posting from my blog, from my YouTube channel, and I'm very active on social media, but it's all automated. So once a month I sit down, I plan out what I'm going to do, and then I just let it run on autopilot. Now, if you want a real shortcut to all this, if you don't want to mess around with social media scheduling tools or any of that stuff, then a couple of days ago I shared a free plugin that is called Revive Old Posts. So every time you publish on social media, that will do the posting for you. Not only that, it will take a deep dive into your previous posts and then schedule those too. So let's move on to the next segment of this tutorial. So now we're going to focus on moving away from social media and distributing our content elsewhere. So a good starting point for this is Medium. Medium allows you to publish a couple of free articles every month. So what I want you to do is use the domain authority of Medium to rank for keywords, and then almost use it to hijack the traffic. And that's because you have a much better chance of ranking a Medium article than you do on your own. Chances are, because the domain authority is so good. So we want to take advantage of that, and we want to grab that traffic and then direct it wherever we like. So we can create a new article on Medium, or we can import one from our blog. If you go with the import option, I recommend that you rewrite the headline and the first paragraph of text, and then wrap the rest of the content in a quote tag. Now, the obvious problem here is duplicate content. However, Medium provides a canonical, let me pronounce that properly, canonical, that's it, yeah, canonical tag that will tell Google that your website is the original source and that should be credited so. But if we want to write a story, click write a story, you're going to get a very dry, very easy to use dashboard where you can put it in your title, you can put in your story with these blocks, so you can add images, videos, and all that stuff. But if you want to import a story, go to stories and then import a story, paste in your URL like so, click import, and now it's just going to pull in all that data. So it's taken this blog post from my website and it's importing it to Medium. So click to see story, and now I can change the headline, I can add images, I can add that original piece of text at the very beginning, and I can wrap the rest of it in quotes. And if we scroll right down to the bottom, we'll see this originally published at your website address there on the date that it was published. And you can decide how much of your article you want to publish. You can publish a few paragraphs, you can publish the entire thing, it is entirely up to you. So let me tell you another little strategy, because chances are you may have mentioned someone in your article, you might have quoted them, there might be some reason for you to reach out and tell someone else who has an audience that you have featured them or mentioned them in some way. So we would go to Twitter, we would link out to your to the piece of content, and then we would tag them and let them know that they have been mentioned. We might also want to drop them an email to let them know. But sticking with Twitter, let me show you another little strategy that you can use for Twitter. So if we go to TweetDeck, we now have a bunch of activities, so we can dive in to these keywords or these hashtags to see what people are talking about at this very second. So these are conversations happening right now that you can be part of. Now, to make sure that you only interact with conversations that are active and there is some kind of audience that's relevant to you, we have these filters. Click on one of those click on the filter, and now we can change the level of engagement. So we want to make sure that there is at least one retweet and at least one like, so we know that there is somebody engaging with that content. You can set this to whatever you like. So you might want to only target conversations that have got at least 5 replies. That's up to you, or at least 10 likes. I have set this for a minimum of 1 because the amount of frequency, the amount of time rather, versus the activity, versus the engagement is something to be aware of. So if I hit refresh, we're going to see all these posts for digital marketing that were made minutes ago, and all these have got some level of interaction. So versus the amount of time, which is, let's say this one is 18 minutes old, it's had 1 retweet and 1 like. So because it's a fairly new tweet, I might want to start engaging with that, because it looks like over time it might attract an audience. And we can also use TweetDeck to find people who share similar content. So if they're sharing similar content to your content, chances are they will be interested in sharing yours too. So use TweetDeck to find people who share similar content. Now, in addition to this element of outreach that we're doing, I want you to go to a website called Haro. So it's helpareporterout.com. It's going to ask you if you're a journalist or a source. Now, because you want traffic, you are a source. What this does, it helps connect journalists who are looking for people just like you to provide information, stories, and quotes. It's a free to use service, So just add in your email there, and then you will receive a couple of emails every day about your chosen niche. And every day you will receive emails with a list of traffic opportunities. So these are journalists who want to speak to people just like you. So for example, this one, who will be crazy enough to use a Facebook phone. So this is a journalist asking for people who want to talk about that. They are writing for LifeWire, and they want people with a tech background to respond and provide some kind of insight into this query. Another journalist is looking for someone to talk about time management tools that help draw the line between work and life. So if I have knowledge of that, if I'm aware of specific tools, I might respond to this journalist and then get featured on their publication, get traffic and backlinks. And then one of the biggest traffic sources that you will ever have is your own email list. So remember we spoke about the call to action? Well, we have an opt-in form on your blog, just like you see how I have it, and then we build an email list. Now, email list building used to be very expensive. However, now it costs practically nothing, because with services like Aweber, they offer a special deal where you can have the first 500 subscribers for free. I've used Aweber. I do endorse it for affiliate marketing, but not much else. If you're not doing affiliate marketing, then I recommend ActiveCampaign, which is still pretty cheap. I think it starts at around $9 a month, up to 500 subscribers. And why I recommend ActiveCampaign is because of the automation aspect of it. It does some very clever things behind the scenes. We can do some amazing segmenting, and I could talk about ActiveCampaign for hours. I'm not going to, but I have used it in the past. I really do recommend it. I absolutely love it. And what I'm using right now is, of course, the big daddy of them all. It is Kartra, which is an all-in-one platform. So not only do you get the email list side of things with the mail, and the deliverability is amazing, but you also get Kartra pages, you get a funnel builder, memberships, everything, absolutely everything you need to run an internet business. And in my opinion, Kartra is a no-brainer, because when you consider the cost of hosting, the cost of email service providers, you have all these additional costs, and when you combine them all together, it can run quite expensive. But Kartra gives everything for an all-in-one price, and it's not too badly priced either. Let's have a look at the plans in pricing. I think it starts at around $99 a month. But when you think about what you will potentially spend without Kartra, it can run into several $100s a month. So for me, it's kind of a no-brainer. And one of the aspects that nobody really talks about with Kartra is the analytics. That is the most powerful element of your marketing plan. It's the analytics. We need to be able to see what is working. We need to be able to tweak things so we make the most revenue. Now, before I used Kartra, I was making okay money from my websites, but when I shifted over to Kartra, thanks to the analytics, things just took off. So listen, I'm going to put a link in the description to Aweber, to ActiveCampaign, and to Kartra. You go with whichever one is best for you and for your budget. But the important thing to note, no matter what you choose to do with your marketing, you have to be consistent. Because when you are consistent, you can achieve amazing results. Like Matt, he's making millions of dollars online thanks to my training. And if you want to know the secret and you are serious about making money on the internet, then you need more web traffic. So I will give you the secret traffic methods that I never share anywhere else for free when you go to profitcopilot.com/traffic, and I'll put a link to that in the description. And if you found today's tutorial useful, then give it a thumbs up below, subscribe to the channel to hit that little notification bell so you never miss an update from me, and I will hopefully see you again in a couple of days' time. Take care.